A happy Sunday. This is my little sweet raisin. That is her name. And I introduced her a while back now. Happy Sunday, everybody. Today is our devotional Sunday, and our title is Your Hair, and it's spelled Hair. Let's get into this very, very touching devotion. Indeed, the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Don't be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows. And that can be found in Luke 12 and 7. Like the video before you forget, please. Thank you. Some of us have a thick mop of hair, while others lose hair every day. Men who are going bald apply all kinds of remedies to try to prevent further hair loss. But, says Jesus, God knows about every strand of hair that you have. He has counted each hair on our heads. Therefore, we have no need to fear. The Lord pays attention to the tiniest details in the lives of each of his children. Jesus then went on to say how we are worth more than many sparrows. There were thousands in the areas where he preached. And even though they are tiny birds, he said that God has an eye on each one. People used to catch sparrows, kill them, and pluck their feathers. Then they would grill them and eat them. They were regarded as delicacies and still are in some regions of the world. People often used to sell sparrows, and Jesus refers to this when he says that two are sold for a penny. The original Greek text says that two were sold for an as or asaron, Matthew 10 and 29. Sparrows were very cheaply bought in the marketplaces, and yet Jesus assured his disciples that not one of them is lost to God's sight. Even when they fall, they are under his loving care. Jesus wanted to assure us that all people, and particularly his children, are very precious to him. That is why we do not have to be afraid of anything and can trust him wholeheartedly. We are worth far more than a flock of sparrows, more than 100 sparrows, more than an infinite number of sparrows. Take heart! Explanation point. God's loving care will never let you down, not even in your hour of death. And that's Romans 8:31 through 39. I tell you, sometimes life can be very, very hard. On the side of this particular devotion, it says, the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. Amen. So that's what we need to keep in mind, that our good shepherd knows all, protects his children, and we don't have to have a care in the world like how the world does. Of course, we have concerns. Of course, we're human. Of course, we even worry. But the difference between us and the people in the world who actually depend on their own limited abilities more than they trust in God, that is the difference. They depend on their own limited abilities. We believers, we take it to another level. Number one, we admit that we can't do everything. We admit that we don't know everything. We admit that we need a higher power, and that higher power has a name. Jesus Christ himself is our higher power. Amen. And that's something that, if we don't take nothing else with us today, remember that if Jesus cares about the birds. You know how we always trying to leave food outside for the birds or leave some type of bird bath for them, and don't you know that God cares about us just like that, even more so? Because we're made in his image. We're made to serve him, worship him. So we know that the birds and animals, they worship God in their own little ways too. All his creation is good. He said everything he created was good and very good. So that means everything has its place in God's heart. But we were made in his image. We were fearfully made. We are like uniquely made. Okay, a lot of the birds and other beasts, they look exactly alike, but we are wonderfully made. Now we're not talking about the identical twins, and even in that is that's a mastery art. You know, nobody else can do that but God himself, because he loves and cares about us just that much. He took the time out. He knows how many strands of hair is on our heads. All this hair right here I have. He knows how many strands of hair is coming out of my scalp. He knows, he knows, he knows. That's just how important we are. He knows every inch of our bodies, every inch of our thought process. He knows everything. Like the video, comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Thank you again to all my new subscribers. Thank you again to all my old subscribers that's been hanging in there with me for the last 2 years. And I just give God all the glory, and I thank you all. I appreciate you all. Let me take a sip off of my little healthy beverage here. Let me show y'all what it is before I let y'all go. Just in case if some of you have noticed this in the stores and wonder if it's good, the color of it turned me off, but I knew it should be healthy. So I asked a couple of people, and they bear witness that it was healthy and everything. And that's what we need to do, y'all. Take care of our temples. Yeah, God have us. He's protecting us, but we have to do our parts in taking care of our temples as well. The mixture that's in this beverage, it is these are juices that's been these fruits and stuff that have been juiced, and it's apples, mangoes, pineapple, bananas, and kiwis. So that's the mixture that is in this particular naked green machine beverage. That's this type of green that's what's in it. So that's what I'm drinking right now, and some water. We went to a wedding today, me and my husband. And my friends, God is just blessing my friends to get married, y'all. People saying, oh, nobody getting married. Well, honey, you better tap into having God as your best friend and your leader and your provider, because he will give his children the desires of their hearts. And we've been going to weddings, and we've been celebrating birthdays, and we just been having a good time. And yeah, it was a beautiful wedding we went to today after church. And their colors was lavender and white. And it's really strange. I didn't ask her ahead of time what colors the wedding party colors was going to be, but God had dropped in my spirit this morning to wear my lavender dress. Well, we went to our own church first, so it wasn't so much I needed to wear the lavender dress for my own service. This is what I wore for my own service. But it was dropped in my spirit to wear the lavender dress. Now, I would have kept the same dress on for both events, for our church and the wedding, if I had obeyed that voice. So, yeah, I went on to the wedding after church, and lo and behold, even some people who were not a part of the wedding party actually wore their lavender dresses. So I was like, Wow, I should have wore my lavender dress. But let's just go to show you how God cares about us even when it comes to little things like that. So if he cares about little things like that, don't you think he care about major things like marriage and giving us those mates after God's own heart? Because those are the type of mates we should be desiring. So if you desire to have a mate, ask God to give you a mate that's after his own heart. And you can't go wrong with those type of desires. And remember, God cares. God cares more than you would ever fathom. He cares. He knows all our desires before we even speak it out. But he wants us to speak it out because he wants us to develop a relationship with him where we take time out to talk to him. Like we talk to each other, like I'm talking to you all. He wants us to take the time out to talk to him too. So me and sweet little raisin, we're gonna get ready and let you all go for today. She just thought she'd sit in on the devotion with us, right? Yes, mommy. So we are going to let you go for now, but not forever. By faith, we will be back. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the share button, and hit the notifications bell so that you can be notified every time a video is dropped on this channel. Love you all with the love of Jesus. Bye bye.